All right. Greetings, everybody. I hope you're doing well. So this is my first full real time going live with Nerd Chapel. For those who don't know, Nerd Chapel is something that I started to bring together my passion for Jesus and also my enjoyment of nerdy things such as science fiction and comic books, etc., etc. So today we are looking at oaths, and specifically we're going to start off with looking at the Old Code Oath from Dragonheart. Now, Dragonheart had 3 movies. I watched the third one a couple of weeks ago for the second time. They're working on a 4th movie, according to IMDb. And it's a knights and dragons and good versus evil fantasy series. The first one was great. The second one was pretty good. The third one's worth seeing once or twice. It's not quite as amazing, but still pretty good. And the oath from there is, in that lore, was started by King Arthur. And they have this oath. There's a few different versions of the oath. There's a long version, there's a short version, then there's a more formal short version that would actually be spoken out by someone as they were making the oath. So here's the Old Code Oath from Dragonheart. A knight is sworn to valor. His heart knows only virtue. His blade defends the helpless. His might upholds the weak. His word speaks only truth. His wrath undoes the wicked. So an oath is basically a way to remind yourself of, these are my priorities. This is what I'm committed to. This is what my life is about. And there were several times throughout all 3 of the movies where you see the characters have to make a very staunch decision based off of the oath of, what am I really going to stick to here? What am I really going to commit to? And then, let's think about the Green Lantern Oath. The Green Lanterns are known far and wide for their protection of the galaxy. They're getting a movie in a few years, or at least they're supposed to. But their oath goes like this. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. And that comes, that was written decades ago. The Green Lanterns are a galaxy-wide corps of protection, kind of a police force, but not quite. They're not really committed to any one government. And they just go up against some of the craziest, weirdest bad guys. Guys who use fear to power rings and to make hard light constructs that will kill and endanger people, and just all sorts of crazy cosmic stuff they go up against. And this is what they use to keep them solid, to keep them focused, to remember this is what we are about. Now then I started wondering, I'm like, if we were to have an oath for Christians, what would that be? If those of us following Jesus were to have our oath, what would we use? And there's a couple of passages that came to my mind, but the thing that I decided to really stick with is actually a piece of Isaiah 61 that Jesus read in a synagogue at the very beginning of his ministry. Something that he stood on, that he died for, that he said, this is what I'm about. And so this is the passage from Isaiah 61 that Jesus read. The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. So Jesus said, hey, I'm not here to get a political victory, which is exactly what everyone around them wanted the Messiah to be about. They wanted him to be about a political victory. And he said, I'm not here for politics. I'm here to help the destitute, the poor, the wounded. I'm here to bring freedom in ways you could never possibly imagine. And he did this by dying on the cross to take the pain of sin on himself so that we could be forgiven. He did this by bringing physical healing to people. He did this by bringing emotional healing to people. Jesus is one of the things that Jesus really sticks out for is meeting with people that others of that time would have ignored. When his disciples tried to keep the children away, Jesus said, "No, bring them to me. Let me see these children." When he was waiting at a well, a Samaritan woman came, and no Jew would talk to a Samaritan, and men rarely ever talked to women that were not part of their family at that time. And Jesus immediately stepped out and saw her and talked to her and met her where she was and brought healing to her life. And so I took these 3 oaths and I put them on a sheet of paper, something I can hang in my room and remind me of, this thing that Jesus did, this is what I am to be about. And there are so many good things in these other oaths too, about standing up against evil and about helping the helpless and living by virtue and valor. But the important one of these 3 is what Jesus said, is what he chose to do. So I hope you guys are having a good day. And thanks for joining me, and may the Christ be with you.